I'm Rochester Chamber Communications Director Dan Smith here with the new Democrat and Chronicle Executive Editor Michael Kilian. I could say actually welcome home to you. You're a Fairport native, right?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about your career journey from Fairport back home now at the Democrat and Chronicle.
Sure. Thank you, Dan. I'm a class of '81 FHS graduate, ran the track team. I was also on the math team. Wonderful education.
Wait a minute, math and journalism really don't go together. I know this.
Yes, indeed. The wonderful education, teachers. I love Fairport. Life took me to Cornell and then into the magazines a little bit in New York City. I was a fact checker. And then newspapers brought me back upstate. I spent most of my life in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs, Troy, Utica, Glens Falls, places like that. With the Gannett Company, I've also been to Burlington, Vermont twice. It's beautiful. The Eastern Shore of Maryland, and 3 years in Cincinnati where we won the Pulitzer Prize for heroin coverage. And then life has now brought me to Rochester, and I'm very happy to be here.
That's excellent. Now, coming back home with a fresh set of eyes on the Democrat and Chronicle, what is your vision for the publication?
Sure. If the community is winning, then the DNC is going to win. So our focus very much is going to be on the greater good. What is the news coverage that looks at the challenges we face and the solutions to those challenges? Who are the people who are making a difference? Who are the people in need, the people who are most vulnerable, could benefit from news coverage and the community stepping up? And how do we connect people in a community that can be divided in many ways?
Now, the newspaper business is one that's in transition. People are consuming news in many different ways now, even than they did 5 or 10 years ago.
Okay.
How is the DNC staying ahead of that transition with this new way of consumption?
Sure. Almost certainly, if you were born since 1980, you consume news on a phone or a tablet, and we have to accept that's the reality. Even though we have loyal print readers who have been with us since the 1950s and 1960s, we need to serve those print readers well. They've been loyal to us. They pay every day for the newspaper, but all of our growth is on the digital side, and we've seen increases by immediacy. When something happens, we're there and we're delivering facts that you can trust. Watchdog journalism is relevant to readers, that's solution-oriented, and you'll see a real focus on improved storytelling, often video, podcasts, things like that, because people will spend time on their phones consuming something they care deeply about and that has a human connection.
Now, as the new executive editor, let's say the first 3 or 4 months, what is your number one priority?
Getting to know the community that I lived in, grew up in, but have not lived here for many years, and make sure I understand the community as it is today and not simply as it was in 1981.
All right, Michael Kilian, Executive Editor, Democrat and Chronicle, thank you very much. And as always, where do we go? DemocratandChronicle.com.